Hello, everyone. I'm going to give you a moment to come in. Today is Monday. Happy Monday to everyone. We're going to share some mental health tips today. I'll give you just a moment. All right, welcome to Monday's Mental Moment with Dr. Danita. So this is a new series that is added to our show, our baggage claim, Unpack Your Bags with Dr. Danita. And so every Monday, I will be sharing Monday's mental moment with you. And basically, I'm just going to give tips for your emotional health as it relates to the topic that we shared on Thursday. And so last Thursday, I aired the very first episode for this season, and the topic was blended. And so we talked about co-parenting and blended families and step parenting, and talked about communication and boundaries and all of that good stuff. And so what we really want you to do is go to the YouTube channel so that you can catch, and if you didn't get an opportunity to view that particular episode. So it's on my YouTube channel. It's been uploaded at Dr. Danita Thompson. So go ahead and catch that. And tonight I'm going to provide some emotional health tips for you and your children if you happen to be finding yourself in a co-parenting new season, or if you are on the journey. This is not just for you, but it's also for anybody you may know that may need help in this area of emotional health while navigating the co-parenting, blended, and step family life. And so research tells us that children, as well as parents, but children specifically, when going through a divorce situation or a separation situation, they are at greater risk for having emotional health adjustments and mental health adjustments. The relational satisfaction and life satisfaction issues can go well into adulthood. And so we also know that the child's brain is developing every single day, and it doesn't really reach full maturity until the mid-20s. And so with that being said, it can be every few years your child may process their the separation, the divorce, the new situation, the blended family situation. They may process that in a very different way than they did a few years prior. So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind with your children, that you're watching and you're giving them space to be able to communicate where they are. And so I'm just going to offer a few tips, and this is only a moment. And so the first thing that I want to say is that it is very important for you as the parent to take care of yourself. We know that we say that the child is the main focus, but your child is very vulnerable, and given that vulnerability, they only have you. And so if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be available for your children. And so exercising that self-care is absolutely essential. And we talk about exercising self-care for so many different things, but exercising self-care for the co-parenting, the blended family experience is absolutely necessary. And so when we say exercise self-care, it means to make sure that you eat right. It means to make sure that you develop a network of people, support network. It means that you get sufficient rest, that you remain hydrated. And I put a lot of emphasis, people don't tend to recognize the importance of your of taking care of your physical body and how it connects to your mental and emotional health. And so, in almost every tip that I give, I will always talk about the importance of eating right, because if you are experiencing depression, anxiety, and high stress, which is very common for the co-parenting, for any co-parenting blended family, obviously it's a stressful situation and it's a new transition, or it's a journey that you have not yet gotten accustomed to. You're going to experience sadness, you're going to experience some sort of fear or anxiety or depression. And if you're not eating correctly, you don't give yourself an even playing ground to begin to work on anything, because if you're eating comfort foods, eating sugar and carbs, and that inflames your brain. And if your brain is inflamed, it increases sadness, it increases depression. And so you're going to find yourself on a hamster wheel and not being able to implement any of the tips. So it's very, very, very important to take care of yourself in terms of eating healthy. Reduce your sugar, reduce your carbs, drink a lot of water, remain hydrated. Another tip is make a decision not to isolate yourself. It's very easy to, make say, I just don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to answer any questions. You can make a decision not to isolate yourself, but also establish your boundaries as to what you're willing to talk about and how you want people to engage with you in conversation as it relates to what you are experiencing. I also would encourage you to stay focused. Don't continue to look behind and look back over your shoulder and remember when and this is what was. And if you continue to rehearse and nurse what was, you have a limited opportunity to really move forward. And so stay focused, look forward, and don't ruminate over what you left behind or what was. And then this next set of tips I want to give as it relates to your child. So first it was for you, and now this is for your child. Give your children a space and permission to grieve the loss of what was. Give them a space to grieve what they thought life would be. They are experiencing the same anxiety, they're experiencing sadness, they're experiencing depression. Some maybe their grades are being affected. They're withdrawing from their social settings and their friendships. Or they may be acting out and taking it out on you. Don't take it personally. This is their own inner struggle that they are experiencing. So give them space to talk. Give them space to be sad. Don't try to rush them into, being happy about their new situation. It's really not fair to them, and it won't help them to be able to move into it in a healthy way emotionally. You also want to help them put words to their emotions. If they're older, they can journal. If they're younger, they can color those things that they are feeling. They can possibly write a letter about how they are feeling. Just help them put words to their emotions, and don't discount or discredit any emotions that they communicate that they're feeling. The worst thing that we can do is tell a child that they're not feeling what they're feeling, or that they shouldn't feel what they're feeling. I would also suggest that you reassure them that when they're sharing with you how they feel, if one of the things that they share is about you and the decision you made, let them know that you're big enough to handle whatever it is that they want to share. If they're mad at you, or if they're disappointed, give them that space to be disappointed. And it is okay to apologize to your child. I'm so sorry that this is that this had to happen. It was never my desire for you to be in this situation. It is okay to apologize to your child. I would also suggest that this is huge, and if people can find a way to grow up emotionally and make that emotional decision to have civil a relationship with your ex, it goes a long way for your children. For your children, it goes a long way. So making a decision that it is okay to say hi to your ex, to have communication, not to communicate through the children. It does something to them emotionally. It's an emotional baggage for them to have to communicate on behalf of their parents. It's emotionally confusing to them when we tell children to use their words and the adults in their life are not able to do that. And so it will help with their emotional development if the adults in their life would make a decision to be mature adults. The last thing that I want to suggest is that you consider counseling for yourself and counseling for your children. There's also divorce care groups. There's divorce care groups for your children as well. And so those are the tips that I wanted to share with you as it relates to navigating your mental and emotional health when entering in or continuing the journey of co-parenting, living in a blended family, and step parenting. Thank you so much. Don't forget to go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe so that you will get the notifications. And also you can find me on Instagram at that's Dr._Danita. And I'm also, of course, on Facebook. I will see you Thursday at 7:30. Do not forget to tune in Thursday at 7:30, and I will have my husband and my sons on, and we'll be talking about parenting on the other side of 18. It's not easy to transition into knowing how to navigate that relationship when your children are no longer minors. And so join me on Thursday. Until then, have a good one.